Gather, veterans. It's time to join the fight. The long war begins.
This is The Long War. I'm Robbie B. And joining me once again are my partners in crime, Kenny Boucher.
Yo, dog.
Stephen Ford.
Hey, it's 2018.
Mike Haspel.
Hey, everyone.
And Jason Craze.
I heard there was punch and pie.
Fact. It is indeed 2018. How's everybody doing?
No big deal.
How about you?
Yeah, it is absolutely a 10 out of 10 so far.
They're just doing a little amateur firefighting.
That story we'll be talking about this one for years, I'm sure.
We'll live on forever. Kenny has hobo fires to put out in LA, and we have a snowpocalypse happening in the Moore County, North Carolina area.
And Haspel's back in Colorado where it's like 60 degrees.
60 and sunny.
And Jason's still in the desert.
It was 76 here today, or maybe 80. It
Wow.
felt nice. I was driving with the windows down, sun's out, shades on, music up. Yeah, sucks to be me.
This is the worst. Yeah, we could not all be more polar opposites than anything right now. But we're back. It's 2018, first show since the break, and we got demons coming in hot, of course. I think we have a pretty good show for you. Got some teasers -- perhaps spoiler rumors that seem to be lining up pretty good for everybody today. Tabletop Market Watch. Man, there's so much to talk about. I don't even know where to start.
Robbie B, it's crazy because we haven't all gotten together in like 3 weeks, and we're talking. We want to keep going with stories and stuff, but at the same time, it's like, Robbie B, there for a while, I'm scratching right now. We had a codex in our hands every Wednesday for like 4 fucking weeks in a row.
Y'all got more of them new releases?
I need a book in my hands, so I'm ready for that to happen.
Well, next week we'll get our wish. Y'all get your chance with the demon book, and of course, if you're in the Age of Sigmar, there will be the maggot kin of Nurgle, which is the third in the series of the Chaos specific battle tomes. We've had a Khorne, we've had a Tzeentch. Remember, Disciples of Tzeentch, Khorne Bloodbound. Now we're getting maggot kin of Nurgle. So I guess at some point maybe we'll see Slaanesh. Who knows? That's so 2019. I can't even think about it right now.
Is that for Age of Sigmar, you said?
Yeah.
I thought they had the Gludkin. Isn't that Nurgle?
Yeah, that's going to be part of the new book, which also comes out. Actually, no, wait, hold on. Let me think. That comes out. Yes, that comes out the same week as Demons.
What happened to Dirty Mike and the boys?
They're already out. They came out. There's no new rules for them. They're just you're talking about Lord Felthius and his tainted court.
That's what I say when I take a poop.
Yeah, and his tainted court.
His tainted court.
Yep.
Emphasis on the tainted. Actually, you know what? It's funny because a friend of ours, Tim, was over today, and I was like, yeah, hey, just grab these blade hollers and put them together for me. And I handed him one. He's like, but this is already together. I was like, no, it's snapped together. I just snapped it together. He's like, wait, what? And I was like, yeah, see? And I just literally field stripped it in front of him. I was like, it's just snapped together. It was so awesome. They're so cool kits. But the Lord Felthius and his tainted court don't have any special rules.
Dirty Mike and the boys.
Yes, Lord Filthiest.
Dirty Mike and his tainted court. It's just the Lord of Contagion and some light lords, the Terminators. So, man.
Robbie B, I feel like we could just do this. We could do this for at least the next 15 minutes. What about Marbo? Do we have rules on him?
So that is interesting. There is rules on Marbo. I could pull them up. Maybe just give me a second to pull them up. But there's no points value. So I guess you can't play him in match play until we get, I don't know.
Is there a power level?
I believe that GW put out points levels, but it was on their Facebook page. and it was around 80 points. I don't remember exactly.
I was going to say, something is telling me I hope he's under 100 points.
Yeah, it was ballpark around there. I'll see if I can find it.
Yeah, take a look for that one. His rules are pretty. I mean, I could see, depending on points, of course, where you'd want to field him, and I think the miniature is great. You know, he's got like he looks like fucking amazing on a silencer. I'm like, wait, what? How does that work? Yeah. But it looks great. He kind of looks like Guile from Street Fighter a little bit, I feel like.
He's so much more butchier and filled out than the old model.
Oh yeah, without a doubt, he is.
Does he still throw a demo charge straight up in the air and it lands on him again?
That was always interesting. He has a special rule called Detonate Concealed Explosives. Pick an enemy unit on the battlefield and roll a d6. Subtract 1 for the result if it's a character, but add 1 if the unit contains 10 or more models. On a 4-up, that unit suffers d3 mortal wound, and on a 7+, it suffers d6.
Cool.
Okay.
It does about what it used to do. I played so many games with Marlboro in my deck, and let me tell you how many times he actually killed something.
Wait, so you're telling me this guy pops up, he can throw a 5-inch blast template, but only 6 inches? That's only not good math.
5.5-inch template. You know how many times I'm like, okay, this is it. It's finally gonna happen. This guy jammed 10 Space Marines into this little circle that I can cover all of them with the template. It's finally going to happen. It's finally going to be my day, Marble. Pick up them scatter dice, throw it in the air, moves back exactly 5 inches to me.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, I can always roll a 1. Oh, I didn't. I'm dead. Cool. Word.
Or remember when there was partials?
Yep. Back in the day.
Yeah, so like even then you had a little bit better of a chance to not frag yourself, but no, not today.
So here you go, guys. This is per GW's Facebook page. Guess how many points he is?
76.
65.
Ooh,
wow!
I'm at the point cost that I like. Haskell.
Yeah, that's Warhammer 40K page saying we can let you know Sly Marble is 65 points in match play.
Yo, throw that link in chat for me if you don't mind. So here's a couple of things. Like, I like this model. I like the way they put him out. I think it's neat. I think it's cool. I think he does, and we'll go over the rest of his rules here in a second. But what I'm personally, Rob Bear, concerned about is that now we have a model with rules outside of the normal release cycle. These rules are not anywhere.
We just got our chapter approved. He's not in it.
Literally 2 weeks after chapter approved comes out.
So we got this new piece of literature that unifies everything, all the FAQs, all the point changes. That's in this one solid place. And then outside of any other release, we get something new that's not in that book. That is exactly what we've been talking about. We were nervous about.
We're 6 months in, almost on the dot. And that's, that's where we're at. There's nothing any of us can do about it.
I mean, look, we've got this figured out. We're just going to put the point cost separate. We're going to put it in the back of the book, and everything's going to be fine. Don't worry.
I mean, there's workarounds for some of that stuff. Like, take a photocopy of it. I've been taking photocopies of the data sheets themselves. And there's actually Adobe. If you have an Adobe account, if you're using Photoshop or whatever on the monthly thing, there's a scanner little app that you can put on your phone, and it literally, when you put it over the GW War Scrolls in the book, it like snaps to the rectangle area almost, and it takes a picture of it, and then boom, it like auto like blows away the background and everything, makes it like crisp black and white, saves it, and then you can throw it. You can download it, or whatever you do with your phone pictures.
Holy shit! That's an amazing app.
Yeah, it's awesome. And then boom, you got these little data sheets, and you set up your printer, and you can print it. You can play it 4x6. You can print it half page, whatever you want.
What do you do when the guy's data slate's over here, and then the guy's points over here on a comment reply on this page, and then
that was the other part too. Now you have a data sheet. It comes in a box, which, by the way, this wasn't a general release. This was only at GW stores, And then you have on their Facebook page. So literally to play Sly Marlboro, and I don't want to be negative, I'm just trying to raise awareness here. So literally to play Sly Marlboro, you need an Imperial Guard book, theoretically the Warhammer 40K book. You need the chapter approved to check all your other points out of your guard book. Now you need the data sheet from the box set itself, and you need to check Facebook to get his points value. Like, I don't feel like that's saying it's unfair to say that might be a little too much, guys.
I don't understand what the problem is.
For me as a tournament player, I simultaneously, I guess I'm like Sternberg's cat on this one. I simultaneously care and don't give two shits while we're discussing it, because I'm like, yeah, you just told me how to get all this information. I'm literally halfway done to downloading all this information right now. Good to go, because I already own the rule book. I already have the IG book. I already have chapter approved. All I needed was a picture of Sly Marvel's data slate from the internet, this random Imperial Guardsman I have over here that I'm going to convert, and then I just captured the Facebook chat. I'm good. Ready to go.
I don't know. It's an issue. If you know your army, you're going to have all the stuff to present to people, and that's part of that social contract. When you step up to the table, you're like, all right, here you go. Here's all my things. Would you like, hey, just so you know, this does this does that, whatever. And I feel like that's on the player, which, if these are the people that you see week in and week out, you have that investment. Well, you should always have that investment, but regardless. So it's just something to be aware of, that, hey, where does that rule come from? Oh, shoot. You know what, man? I don't know. Let me think. And then you're like,
Mike Haspel, what's the, unrelated, what's the best color to paint camo pants?
What's the best color to paint camo pants?
Yeah, what color would you use? Because right now I'm painting this random Chaos Cultist pants camo.
Maybe start with like Strachan green. Maybe?
There it is. Your pants are now Strachan green, Chaos Cultist. You were not. I have Sly Marble. I did it. I'm a fucking genius.
There it is. Let's go over the rest of his rules. So he's got a Ripper pistol, 12-inch range, pistol 3, strength 5, damage 1, no AP. Wounds infantry units on a 2-up.
That doesn't suck. I'm with that.
No, that ain't bad. Let's see. Envenom Blade is his melee attack, +1 strength, so that would put him at 4. Weapon wounds infantry on a 2-up.
Isn't he a Catachan infantry?
He is as a single model armor. Doesn't say. Oh yeah, he is Imperium, Astra Militarum, Catachan,
so
character
he's
infantry.
He's strength 5, yeah.
Yep. So you're right.
And what's the blade? I'm sorry, what's the blade's profile? Did you say -2 AP, 2 damage?
No, it's just +1, 1 damage. Wounds on a 2-up.
Oh my Jesus. Terrible. It's not even a good close combat blade.
It's like 1. No.
Well, I mean
it's better than.
Sly Marble's job is to throw a demo charge in the air and not die. So he is actually 100% better than he used to be.
Sure.
Let's see. So during deployment, you can set up. Can't be your warlord. During deployment, you can set up Sly in ambush instead of placing him on the battlefield. At the end of any of your movement phases, he can emerge from hiding and attack. Set him up anywhere on the battlefield that is more than 9 inches away. He can then do one of the following. Dun, dun, dun. He can immediately move up to D6 in any direction. In addition, until the start of your next turn, add 2 to his attack characteristic. Or he can, that was stalk with blade. This is snipe with pistol. Sly can immediately shoot his Ripper pistol as if it were the shooting phase, which does not prevent him from shooting in the shooting phase. In addition, until the start of your next turn, Sly can target enemy characters when he shoots his Ripper pistol, even if another enemy unit is closer. Oh, so he kind of gets sniper without the rend on 6 thing. Detonate concealed explosives. We talked about that. One with the surroundings. If he receives the benefit of cover, add 2 to a saving throw instead of 1. And like fighting a shadow, once per battle at the start of any of your movement phases, Sly can disappear as long as there are no enemy models within 6 of him. If he does remove him from the battlefield at the next movement phase, he reappears using the lethal ambush ability.
Literally 1 billion times better than it used to be.
Wow. That's 65 points.
That is. I was rolling my eyes until you said the very last thing. He is forever and going. He's line breaker. He's center objective. He's whatever objective you need him to be on. He's going to be a character. He's going to be getting +2 to his cover. So you add +2 to the existing cover that you're getting. Isn't that what it said?
Yeah. No. Instead of getting the 1, he gets 2.
Oh, okay.
So he has a 3-up armor, 3-up cover save if you don't do any rend,
And a 5-up armor.
Well, he has a 5-up armor, as I'm saying. So like it's a 3-up save. So no, he's awesome. Like everything Juice just said, 65 points. I'll try. I'll probably make a place for him in all my Imperial Guard armies. So it stands. Take your Chaos Cultist with the biggest muscles.
Mm-hmm. The one that you've always called Muscle McMuscleton.
Yeah, and you just begin painting his pants Strachan green. Is that what we're doing here? And he is now Slap Marlboro.
Slap Marlboro will be finished painted before the show is over.
Yeah, yes.
You also have to put the biggest, baddest blade in his hand.
Well, I have the Chaos Cultist guy who's jacked with scars in his back who has a knife and a pistol. I'm like, you have green pants. But he's also all jacked up, like his skin is all mutilated. And I'm like, that's from all the times you threw the demo charge the wrong way, dumbass.
Yeah.
The wind blew backwards. You got a taste of that shrapnel.
Kenny, give me a go, no go for Lawrence that he has the Ivan Drago Rocky 4 haircut.
He absolutely does.
Okay.
That's who I was going to say he looked like. I was like, Guile? I guess Guile does kind of look like Ivan Drago.
Yeah.
I could see it, man. All right, well, let's hit up the Tabletop Market Watch because there's actually a lot coming out next week and on into the week after, but we kind of have a little bit of a fog of war about what's coming out the very last week of January. Of course, they keep hinting that, we might see some of that malign importance. Hard to say, though. We don't know what it is. Question mark, question mark, question mark. All right, so first out of the gate, of course, is the Great Unclean One. Makes 3 different delicious big baddies, including Rodigus, I guess his name is, the new character. Dun, dun, dun. Retail on him is...
GW is getting good at these names.
Yeah. Retail is $140 US, which is $10 more than Fate Weaver, Alariel, and Scarbrand. And the other 2 greater demons were $115. So I don't know if that's because he's got that much of a girth or what, or what's going on with the pricing, but it is something to note, I suppose. Then we've got Mr. Snails, Horticulus Slimulix coming out as a $55 standalone release. However,
can you give me that name? Give me that name one more time.
Horticulus Slimux. I don't know. How would you pronounce Slimux?
Yeah, Slimux.
It has been stated.
Or you could go Slimux and go kind of Anakin Skywalker with it.
I like Slimux.
Yeah.
Remember how I said
I will never go Anakin Skywalker.
No, Slimo? No? Oh.
Dang.
I thought since now it was hip to deconstruct all the things you love that we could go there, but I guess not.
So good thing is, depending on how good Slimux is, you may be able to score if you want to put a little bit more cash with it, if you're depending on which way your chip's working, and pick up that Blight Wars box from GW, because I think it was like 150 or 160, but it came with essentially the Start Collecting Nurgle box plus Slimux plus all sorts of dope Stormcasts. So I think it's like $300, not counting this guy being 55. I have to check the math on that too, but I remember it was a pretty good value. So if you got a friend that's into Age of Sigmar, or maybe you just want to dabble and have some Age of Sigmar, perhaps that might be the box for you, depending on how good Slimux is and if you're feeling the model now. I assume he's going to be in the 40K book just because they seem to be making a big splash with this guy. So there it is. They have a Herald of Nurgle coming out. That's the guy with the big, the snoot that kind of wraps around all. What was that character from Return of the Jedi? Sly Snoodles from the Jabba's palace.
Yeah, it was
the little snout that like wrapped around. Yeah. So you got that guy coming out for 25. One of the
it wasn't until that side effect I was like, these guys are just fucking with me. None of this is accurate, and
that's what sold it from you.
And then it's like, oh wait, that is accurate. Damn.
Oh, savage. It looks cool. I mean, I like the two new heralds for sure. I think there might the one with the crazy nurgling. What do they call it? The danceling. He's all like super like.
Isn't it like sassy nurgling or something like that?
Oh, dude, man, they're really on point with their nurglings. Like they got one in Lord Felthius. It's this box set that's basically Jabba.
Oh my god!
As soon as I saw it, I like snapped a pic and I put it up. I was like, "Bring me Solo in the Wookiee." They're really on point with these nurglings. It's pretty dope. Then we got the Chaos Demon book, of course, $40. Chaos Demons data cards for $15. Battletome Maggotkin of Nurgle for Age of Sigmar for $40. War Scrolls of Maggotkin for Age of Sigmar for $25. Those are the big cards, not the data card size. And the big Nurgle tree, which Feculent Gnarlmaw. Am I saying that right, Haspel?
How the fuck would Haspel know?
Yeah, I literally
don't know. You're a wordologist.
He doesn't see the words that you're saying wrong.
All right, it's Feculent. What would you Feculent? Feculent. I don't know.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I'm going with fuculent.
Gnarlmaw. It's the Nurgle tree. It's $30.
Awesome.
That's it. That's all the tabletop market watch for GW.
Cool.
That's all I got.
Yeah,
I mean, I got more, but that's.
All right. Over the break, when I was in between games of Shadespire, I picked up a new old game from Games Workshop from Citadel. It's Citadel Combat Cards. The original game was out, I want to say, like in the early 90s. And it was pretty old, and they had a bunch of different decks. They had one called Space War, and as far as I can tell, this deck is based off of that. You get 62 cards, and it's split down the middle with Chaos and Space Marines, and it's not just like a single chapter. So it's kind of a sophisticated version of War, is what I would put. But instead of just being able to beat one number with another number, you've got 3 criteria on each card, like combat, melee, and then psychic. So when you play your card and the other guy plays his card, you can, if you're controlling the action, you can say, well, this is going to be a psychic attack, or this is going to be a melee attack, or this is going to be a combat attack. And obviously you want your card to win, and the highest number wins. What's interesting is after you declare what attack it is, the person can use the extra cards in his hand to change certain aspects of the card. Like they can boost their guy, or they can change it. So you say, oh, this is going to be a combat attack, shooting attack. And if I have the right card, I can say, nope, this is going to be a melee attack. Now you lose the combat that you thought it was. And if you guys saw the insane commercial GW did for this, they made it look like Yu-Gi-Oh! And it was like combat cards, Ultra Force Z or something.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, and it was really, really funny. But the game is actually fairly solid. It runs $15, and there's only 6 rounds. It plays very, very fast. Like in maybe 5 to 10 minutes, you can get a game in. This thing is going to be one of the staples that just sits in my game pack. So that, during a tournament or something like that, if everyone's gone to lunch or you got back from lunch and you're just killing time, you can knock out a couple of these. And it's super easy to teach people the rules. It's actually pretty fun. The decks are asymmetric. So the Chaos deck is different than the Space Marine deck. And in the past, they actually had a bunch of other decks that they had back in the 90s. They had monsters, they had dwarves, goblins, Warriors. I don't remember what other ones they had, but they had a bunch of different decks. And this is one that I would actually like to see GW release, some different decks, Eldar and Tau or something like that, and just have folks play that. It fits in one little box. You're good to go. It is, it's $15, so it's just kind of like an impulse buy kind of thing. But I had a good time with it. It uses, they've updated the game a little bit from the old card game. So if you have the old cards, I don't think they are still compatible. I think you need to have the new cards to get it to work. But I had a pretty good time with it. It was a lot of fun. And I would recommend it as, I don't know that there's enough depth in it to, dedicate a whole gaming session to it. But it's definitely one of these other games that, before or after a game of 40K, you can throw down, play a couple rounds in 30 minutes. It's pretty fun. So I really like it.
So I imagine you can be showcasing that, teaching us how to play it at the Long War Doubles tournament.
I will be bringing it.
Days.
I will be bringing it. Yes.
I'm down. I want chaos. I'll play first.
Can somebody teach me how to play Shadespire?
I will be bringing Shadespire. I'm going to be bringing
like a GW game so bad, and I have that set, and I really think that might be it.
Shadespire, I really think GW has really knocked it out of the park with Shadespire. It won the 2017 Geek and Sundry Tabletop Game of the Year.
Yeah.
It is really, really solid. And right now, it's very balanced. I hope that when the Skaven come out, which fingers crossed, I'm hoping that's what comes out at the end of January. But I feel like that might be announced in White Dwarf if they were going to come out in January, because they need the hype. But I adore Shadespire. It's very balanced. It plays, every band has their own flavor. They have their own character, and you can, one person will play a band completely differently than another one, just because of the deck that you're making.
We need to get our Hero Forge models finished. I've started painting the.
Well, you guys didn't save your configurations.
I didn't know how the internet worked at that time.
So that's why I didn't order them. Is I was just like, I'm not rebuilding all these guys.
We should all do our own and paint them ourselves, and then bring them together, and the Coast Commanders can unite in an epic board game night.
Yeah, that would be fun.
I think that might be more doable for Adepticon because I haven't even gone over there and made mine yet.
It's true. I'm actually going to attempt some firsts on my stream because I'm working on the Brawler, and
nice.
I'm going to paint splatters on the shirt and everything, but I got to actually paint a fucking tattoo for finally.
Oh,
so I'm going to have to do it. I'm about to do a tutorial finally on tattoos, which means I have to watch a tutorial on tattoos.
I gotta paint my tattoos on my guy on Friday.
Yeah, yours are worse.
That's gonna be hell.
I'm just gonna skip every tattoo I have except for the Chaos Star on the arm, because that's too much work.
Well, I think I'm gonna watch you guys' tutorials on how to do tattoos.
So I'm gonna watch a tutorial on how to do a tattoo. Then I'm gonna
Robbie
make
B has not yet begun to defile his body.
Actually, what I'm going to do is find the tutorial on how to paint the most fairest looking skin of all the land. That's white. What I'm worried about.
We have a bottle of it in stock at slowfusegaming.com called Pasty White.
Pasty White.
Robbie B, I feel like you should just live vicariously through your Coast Commanders avatar and just go like tribal tattoo on your neck.
He's gonna get the old barbed wire tattoo on your bicep.
Yep.
I need that. I need
have like the hugest hobby muscles.
Just your right arm is jacked.
Just one arm.
But the tribal tattoo is on your left arm.
Yeah.
Clearly I'm under compensating on one of them.
So the Long War GT is something we just brought up. Guys, it's only a few more weeks, only about a dozen tickets left. Long War GT in Southern California, the 20th, 21st, but we will be out here on the 19th, doing a geekathon of some sorts. I believe Haspel
Yeah, I'm bringing out a bunch of games. Just that should be kind of fun. We're gonna have Geek Out. We're gonna have Secret Hitler. I'm bringing out. Oh, dude, Secret Hitler,
so good. I haven't been able to find a copy.
It's hard to find, man.
Yeah,
it is hard to find. But I'll be bringing out the Citadel combat cards. I'll be bringing out Shadespire. And I feel like there was. Oh yeah, One Night Werewolf. A couple other games like that, and we'll just play whatever, and that could also happen Saturday night after the tourney, depending on how late we go.
Yeah, we're trying to do 3 games on Saturday, the last 2 on Sunday. So it's highly dependent, but we don't like to rush people. So we don't hit people with these 2-hour rounds with a 30-minute lunch break, like make everyone rushed. So it's entirely possible it runs late on Saturday.
Yeah.
So be prepared.
And I did want to highlight a couple of things. We do have the draft packet out. It is out on the doubles tourney. It's on the doubles tourney Facebook group. I'll probably post it to the Long War Facebook group as well, not the Long War page. For whatever reason, Facebook wouldn't let me post it on the Long War page. It is in our Discord channel as well. But the one big thing I wanted to highlight was that we are going with like a 2-week cutoff. So the new demons will be coming out within that 2-week cutoff. So unfortunately, the new demons are not allowed in our tourney. Also, if there's any FAQs that come out because we're within 2 weeks now, right? Or just about.
Just about. We're not there yet.
Yeah. So if any FAQs come out within those 2 weeks, those also won't be legal.
Yeah. We're using old school rules. We're doing a 2-week notice, not a 30-day notice like the old days. But it's just this is a bring a hobby back event with only about half your battle score. Only about half your score coming from the game, half the score coming from the hobby score. So we're not sitting here trying to make people figure out how to create the most optimized try hard list, and then us as tournament organizers have to figure out all the new nuances of the new stuff so that we can make rules calls on the field with things we don't understand ourselves just yet. So just be prepared for that. The other big news is that Slow Fuse Gaming, our very own Jason Craze from the Long War Network, will be there as well.
Ta-da!
That's awesome.
Driving out. Yeah, it's gonna be cool. We got the painting set up going on there at SoCal Games and Comics, where I will be setting up my on the go painting studio, and I will be doing Mortarion live. That's my plan. I might bring some other models to goof around with too, just so I don't get too bored of doing the same thing. But my plan is to put a big dent in a Mortarion model with my own personal slant on it. So I'm looking to have some fun, just hang out. Hopefully, have Haspel teach me the glory of Shadespire. It's not actually called Shadespire. It's actually
called Warhammer Underworlds. Yep.
Underworlds. Yeah, and Shadespire is just this release.
Yeah.
So I keep making that mistake, but yeah. Because the next one will be Warhammer Underworld / whatever the hell the next phase of this thing is.
Oh yeah, it could be. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, like Magic releases and stuff.
I'm going for Dirty Mike and the boys. Have sex in your Prius while you do.
I feel like you need to paint up Lord Dirty Mike himself.
Lord Dirty Mike and the boys.
For some reason that movie just tickled me.
It touched you in your special place.
The other guys, oh my god.
I haven't seen it yet, but those two are hilarious in the movies they're in together.
Oh my god, it's amazing.
It's ridiculous. Yeah, you have to see it. But yeah, so that's the big news right there. Jason Craze will be there. So just about the whole Long War Network will be there, minus some of our people that would have to fly from another country. So that's the borders of nations is holding back the Long War for this event. The big news on the street right now is that the swag bags that you're going to be getting upon arrival are valued at the same MSRP as your ticket. It's going to be the first place in 2018 you can go and pick up the new Long War Vortex purple dice. I mean, you're going to have it months and months before anybody else has it this year. We will be putting them up, obviously, for other people to get. There might even be a way to get some of this swag at Adepticon. We got a lot going on. Our Southern California partners, SoCal Games and Comics, are coming through. But guys, let's hit a commercial break real quick so then we can talk about these demons. Elric'sHobbies.com is your exclusive portal to upgrading your hobby. When you sign up at thelongwar.net, you gain an instant promotional discount good for 10% off at Elric's Hobbies. Elric'sHobbies.com.
Dear veterans, quickly, make your way to thelongwar.net and find out how to reap your hard-earned spoils of this long war. For our allies at secretweaponsminiatures.com have rewarded us all with an extra 10% discount on all Secret Weapon Miniatures merchandise. So stock up, dear veterans, and enjoy.
Veterans, I've got news for you. Get your best deals online at dicehead.com. Long War Vets, call or email for your best vet deals. That's dicehead.com. And we're back. Robbie B. I'm not going to joke. No more jokes. I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to let you do it.
First poop joke of the night will be. Kidding. I'm kidding.
I'm not going to do it.
All right. So we got some demon spoilers out there. Big list going around that seems to match up with some of the teasers coming out of GW. So that's good to see. But a little weird on some of the wording. So there might be some things that we don't quite know yet, but just kind of taking a cursory look at the overview of things. So first off, 2 generic stratagems. And this list is over on Docket. You can, of course, find it. There's posted up on Spikey Bits. I don't know the exact link right off the top of my head, but you can check it out over there. You cannot re-roll saving throws, but apparently there is a stratagem that for 1 command point will allow you +1 invul saves, but not to be better than 3+. But we're not sure when it triggers. You know how you guys sometimes it'll say, "Hey, play this one."
We're not sure if it's the start of the phase, beginning of the phase, or during the phase. And also, we have no keywords. We don't know if it's infantry only or if it applies to just the demon keyword. Because if it applies to just the demon keyword, which means any fucking demon can use it, that's a great get out of jail free card for somebody like Magnus.
That is unbelievable. It could actually do. We talked a little bit before in the webcast. I want to see demons back to like 4th edition. They do shit that no other decks can do. They've got cool rules that no one else. This is something like that. They desperately need this. I am not going to play demons. I don't play demons anymore. But I would love to see people have the ability to put units in reserve if that's what they want to do.
Well, this is a different one. This is the invulnerable +1 invulnerable. The other one is the deep strike one.
Yeah. Oh my God. I'm sorry. One of the things that they are saying is that there is a deep strike stratagem for 1 command points. If the unit is 8 power levels or below, you can put it into deep strike. And of course, deep strike, we mean, you can keep it off of play. It deploys 9 inches away from enemy units. That's, I guess, what everybody calls deep strike these days, Nate. For 2 command points, you can do it for a 9 power level unit and above. And like Juice was saying, yeah, if this can splash over to things like
all we need is one of these things to be allowed on all demons.
Yes.
Right? Because even if like, let's say you can only deep strike infantry, but the invulnerable buff is all demon keyword, right? That means Mortarion can have a 3-up invulnerable when he starts the game, and when you start the game and he doesn't have his buff up. That means Magnus can have a 3-up. Let's say fine, that's only an infantry thing. Okay, now you have the deep strike thing, and the deep strike thing is any demon. Then these guys can deep strike.
Yeah, that means you're not on the table getting shot up.
That's huge. I mean, I would say in my mind, I think that probably deep striking is going to be an infantry thing. And I think that we're going to get lucky, and the invulnerable thing is all demons.
That'd be gangster. I tell you, I am just having so much fun and loving the fact that my High Tyrant with Wings has that special ability. Is like, dude, I don't care to run 4. That's what I thought I needed in 5 or anything else, because 2 is I'm always going to get to play with 2 turn 1 if that's what I want. Always guaranteed. No one can take that from me because they're not on the board. That mechanic is so strong. So I hope
since day one I said that deep striking is the strongest.
Yeah,
quote unquote USR rule.
And it's fluffy too, because when Demons came out as their own book 10 years ago, this summer that just passed, that's how they deployed on the tabletop. You literally deep strike them in.
But it was so shitty. That was shitty deep strike. Nobody gave a fuck about that deep strike. This deep strike happens automatically on turn 1. You get to go second safely. That is the strongest. Well, I used to always tell people, like, if you can go second, like, what should I go first or second? It's like, if you can go second safely, always. And deep striking now is that. And the reason I predict that'll be an infantry keyword is because there's already, like, I already outlined a couple of combos, like Decimator. Chaos Decimator is a demon, right? I mean, with soul burners, right? Like, for what? And he's only 8 power level. That's a 1 command point deep strike. That is
the Walker special rule.
Walker. He's a
vehicle.
Vehicle
keyword.
I think it's I think it's demon engine keyword, demon keyword, vehicle.
Yeah,
like
he is a vehicle.
Yeah, but if it says demon keyword, infantry keyword, it makes sense. You know, like they usually don't say things like can't be a vehicle. It usually says what it usually gives you permission for what is allowed to use.
Yeah, a lot of stuff is like, as we see, any monster can do this. Any infantry can do this. I could just see them illustrating monster, any bike, beast, any, stuff like that.
It's usually like 2 things. It's usually like, like Mark of Slanesh infantry units can do this. It's usually like that because we need to know 2 things about you. We need to know what basically your movement type is or your size type is, and we need to know what your legion is, right? So that's typically I think it's going to say straight up demon.
But I don't think the legion is going to matter to this, right? Because this is just a blanket statement. Yeah, this is a blanket statement.
Yeah, this is a generic one. The demon.
Yeah, so I believe it's going to be something like, infantry beasts, or, I can even see monsters and something else, or whatever that keyword for, monsters. But I see what you're saying there. I don't know. Gosh, as a player who's playing against it, do I want them always to have a 3 of invulnerable?
Things typically don't say, though. That's what my whole point is. Like, things typically don't say this is Nurgle monster infantry. It usually says this is Nurgle, or this is Nurgle infantry, or this is Nurgle monster. It usually says those things. Like, there's tons of them in the Tyranid Codex actually that are like, this is monster.
Yeah,
this is infantry.
Specifically for monsters, specifically for infantry. Yes.
So they try. So I think the generic element is demon. It's not going to be a demon of Tzeentch, right? So I think if we're really lucky, one of these 2 generic ones are available to monsters.
Yeah, and they should. They should.
Well, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see, and I think that could unlock a whole realm of possibilities too. When it comes to that stuff. So there was the +1 invulnerable saves, no better than 3++. And when enemy psychers suffer perils of the warp, use this stratagem, they take 2d3 mortal wounds instead of 1d3, which could in a lot of cases probably kill that psyker on average.
I mean, that's going to kill most basic sorcerer librarians.
And what's the stipulation on that one more time?
When enemy psyker suffers a perils of the warp, use the stratagem. They take 2d3 mortal wounds instead of just 1d3. So average of 4, could be 5.
Yo, literally, I will always save 1 command point to use this stratagem.
I mean, it's just like you failed. Sorry, dog.
Yeah, I just gotta laugh.
But that's
You know how many times Haspel shot me with silencers and I failed 2 saves, and I was like, I have 6 wounds left, and he rolls a 5 and a 5. I was like, God damn it. Dude. It's just an awesome ability, man.
Yeah, 2d3 is amazing. I actually just snuck in 3 Mucolids to fill out a brigade detachment for my Chronos detachment, excuse me. And specifically for those, I love the fact I needed to fill out the brigade anyway. But those Mucolids are coming up, and basically a 2 through 5 says they do D3 damage I have 3 of them. I am building my list around those units right there are going to be able to kill. That kills the Saint. That's what I'm doing it for.
Yeah, but what's interesting is don't mortal wounds carry over too? So
yes.
So 2d3 starts hitting the squad.
I see what you're saying, Haskell. If you are a Grey Knight player,
you're going to kill the Justicar. You're going to kill whoever casts that, who is not standalone, is dead.
You're telling me they're going to
5-man strike squad.
The continued shitting upon Grey Knights.
Grey Knights, yep.
Savage.
The army that's supposed to be able to handle demons.
We did. We also play tested the new Smite draft, or the new Smite
beta rule
in our battle report juice for the end of the year live. It definitely sucked for the Grey Knights.
Yeah,
I could see that.
Yeah, that element is just, it's strong. I have to admit, I am a fan of it. I believe that it fixes stuff in the game, but Haskell, you're 100% right. There needs to be a caveat. I didn't even realize, Haskell, I didn't realize this, that even your badass psychers have the shitty smite.
Yep.
Even like Drago or the librarian point, Terminator armor librarians that you have that can cast all these cool abilities literally still cast the shitty smite.
Yep.
That's a problem.
Well, what else do we have, Rob?
So one of the things I thought was interesting, maybe not like super game changing, was the Bloodthirster Insensate Rage might have a sweep attack now, where you can choose a second profile with his axe instead of using the ×2 strength AP -4 D6 attack. And I think the D6 or the D6 damage. I think it's you roll 2d6 and you discard the lowest, if I recall correctly. But this attack would be kind of like a anti-spam attack. So it'd be strength of a user -2, which could be 7 or 8 because he is +1 strength. 1 damage, but you make 2 hit rolls instead of 1 if you use the attack. So I guess that would put his attacks to either 12 or 14, depending on if you charged in or were charged. So that seems okay that he can kind of come in and cut down some stuff. But at 340 points with 16 wounds, a 3 up, 4 up, toughness 7, I'm not sure.
I think GW kind of touched on in the show. I think GW nailed what monstrous creatures should be able to do. They should be able to take less strength and put that into mass number of attacks. That does not need to be saved just for monstrous or for Titanic vehicles or anything else like that. That really needs to be in the game a little bit more. And furthermore, I believe that you shouldn't need to do this on some 340 point model. Why do we need to create this Corrin 340 point model to be able to do this? Back in the day in 7th edition, we were able to do a monstrous creature could sacrifice their attacks to do 1 badass attack. Why now, if we are badasses, can't we just numb my attacks down?
Yeah, that seems like good math. I like that. If you're big and bad, you would have an ability to just come up with a multiple attack kind of profile. Just because
I'm not saying that I would fight 3rd graders, but if I were to fight 3rd graders and like infinite zombie wave attacks, I would scale down the punching power to be able to take down more 3rd graders.
But more importantly, would you use a 3rd grader as a weapon against another 3rd grader?
No, I would use it against you. Like that's when I go to 1 badass attack.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's one of those things too, is like we spoke on a Dread Knight, to use Haskell's army as an example. When a Dread Knight swings with his punch with his 4 attacks, one of his punches should be able to engage 3+ models. I mean, it's just the fact. If a Space Marine can swing 1 punch and hit 1 dude, you know what I mean? Like, let's just scale this shit up. Either way, I would like to see it. It would help out a lot of people, and it would help.
Well, speaking of attacks, Khorne supposedly is getting a weapon that each time you make a wound roll 6 up, a friendly Khorne demon unit within 6 inches can make another free attack. The wording's a little wonky on that, but it was alluded to that this might be a real thing. So I don't know if that means, hey, a whole Khorne demon unit gets to attack again, or just one attack per each model. Like, the wording's kind of weird, but if it is, hey, your bloodletters all get to attack again, free out of sequence, that could work. I could see where that would be an issue. But
yeah. I mean, to be honest, I really hope Bloodletters and Khorne get some cool Blood Angel style close combatness. The game can use it.
And then they do get a stratagem. Supposedly, you pick a banner, I guess, that a unit has, and that unit charges 3d6 instead of 2d6. So again, something we saw with Blood Angels, sort of.
Well, that's the stack. If you can play the stratagem like a unit of Blood Crushers, play the stratagem, the Deep Strike, and then hit them with the 3d6 charge. And I believe you said there's another guy that does reroll all charges within 6 inches.
Yeah, Locust of Rage. If you put it, I guess it comes on a character or something. Reroll charge rolls for Khorne demon units that are within 6 inches of friendly model. That seems good.
It's relatively easy to stack all 3 of those together.
Yep.
And so there's some unfailables, practically.
Another, and we didn't touch on this in the pregame, but another thing that you might be able to do some stacking is we saw with Tzeentch where you can reroll ones to wound within 9 inches with a warlord trait. And at first you're kind of like, man, okay, that's kind of lame. But apparently they are, there's an artifact that increases your shots for pink horrors. So, and then I think there's something else that increases their strength.
Aren't the flamers now 12 inches too?
Yeah, so the flamers are now 12-inch range, the flickering flames, so they get D6 shots.
Yeah, so that stacks pretty well with some auto hit, 12-inch range D6 shots.
Yep. Something else we didn't talk about in the show was the Exalted Flamers are 3 shots base for their last cannon attack instead of D3. And then
wow.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Wait, say what? Who gets this?
So the Exalted Flamers are an elite choice. They're the fat flamers that come on the chariot.
Yeah, he knows. Yeah.
Oh, okay. They have 2 profiles. One is the pistol. One is the like a last cannon attack. But it only did it was D3 shots and it did D3 damage instead of D6. Now it's straight 3 shots, but still D3 damage, I would assume.
So it's not a D3 anymore. It's just a guaranteed 3 shots for their last
guaranteed 3 shots. Yeah,
that's a lot of fucking damage. That's a lot of output.
Yeah, it can be brutal. Now here's a bonus. There's an artifact apparently that makes Exalted Flamers strength 10 as well, up from strength 9.
Wow.
So that could get dirty pretty quick. And these guys have fly. They're 70 points each right now in the current deck. So they're not too shabby. There's some cool artifacts +1 to smite cast, but we all know where smite's going. Maybe they have an exemption. I don't know. There is also apparently an artifact that makes your flamers higher strength. So instead of strength 4 pistols, that were 8 inches, now they're going to be the potential to be an artifact that has strength 5 flamers at 12-inch range. So interesting stuff there. For Tzeentch, there is a stratagem that for 2 command points you can reroll your psychic chest. I believe it's called Locust Conjuration. That has been verified from GW. Jumping into Nurgle, we didn't really talk about that in the pre-show, but I thought just right off the bat, there's a stratagem and an artifact that looked to combo pretty well. Now, this isn't necessarily game-breaking right off the bat. 1 command point, Nurgle, you can pick a unit with an icon before the battle. During one of the fight phases, the damage characteristic of a plague sword carried by that unit is increased to 2, which doesn't really seem like a lot at first, except for the fact that there is some resiliencies built in with demons. A lot of times you get the plus or reroll 1s or +1. I think I forget who does it. I think Lord Scabathrax actually adds, but not that you would take him now because they just really increased his points cost, unfortunately, from Forge World. I think he's up to ridiculous numbers right now, but he used to be manageable around 600 points. He also adds to that. So there's chances that you can shrug off all of these wounds, and they're neg-1 to target if you have a block of Plague Bears over 20, but also the flies carry this stuff too. So combo that with an artifact from Nurgle. Every time the bear kills a model in the fight phase within 7 inches of a Plague Bearer unit on a 4-up, add a Plague Bearer to that unit. So in theory, if you start out with a 30-man block of Plague Bearers, chances are you could end up with 30 or more by the end of the game if you're careful and a little lucky, and that is part of the rule that you can go above your starting point.
Yeah, I like that. That's cool.
It could come into play. We've seen some shenanigans with Poxwalkers and Cultists.
Sure, I was just getting ready to say that, Robbie B, too. Like, we see this same tactic being employed. Matter of fact, Go Boy is running this at a lot of tournaments where he puts some Poxwalkers in the center, kind of behind some buildings, and to the left and right, there's, Cultists and stuff. Once screens started dying, he sucks them up into Poxwalkers.
Yeah, I mean, that's it's a really neat tactic. Like, some of the stuff, it doesn't look like it does it on paper, but once you see it on the tabletop, I'm more of a visual learner. So once I see it playing out and folding me, I'm like, ooh, combo. Nice. I like that. So that's pretty cool stuff there. Slaanesh has got some interesting stuff. I think they're just kind of like the redheaded stepchildren, unfortunately, of demons. Like, they just don't seem to ever get any respect. But they swing quick. They can move quick now. They always can move quick, but now they can move a little quicker. I like one of their new psychic powers. All enemy units are neg-1 to leadership within 12 inches of the psyker. That could stack up a lot on things. We see where they can, they can activate first and do all sorts of things. There's also a stratagem that you pick a Slaaneshi demon unit, and all units within 3 inches of that unit are neg-1 attack for the phase. That could be pretty strong too, used in the right scenarios and stuff. So there's a lot of stuff out there, and of course this is just the beginnings. There's 24 stratagems for this book, I believe. We already know for a fact. So there is a lot of play. There can be a lot more combos out there, and really I think all eyes are going to be looking at how this is going to interact with things like the Chaos Space Marine book, and also the Death Guard book, because there are demon units. Wow,
that's 24 stratagems, unreal. And for everybody who knows, like, it's not like demons need a bunch of help here, I mean, they've always been a powerhouse of a book, but wow, I am excited to see what 24 stratagems will do, and how many are going to be, God specific. Or race, God specific.
I would say roughly 1 out of every 4 will be for a god.
Yeah, I would say definitely.
But no, so you don't think that there's going to be like, for example, there's 6 high fleets, 5 high fleets, I think. And literally there's 5 individual, one for each high fleet, and then the rest are generic.
Mm-hmm.
So you think that there's going to be, like, if there's 24, you think they're going to divide
we have 4? No, probably not. You're right. It's probably not going to be like that, because it's not like Chaos. Chaos is weird because Chaos is going to have a Legion and an alignment.
Uh-huh.
So that gets kind of funny that you can be, there's a difference between Slaanesh keyword and Emperor Children keyword. So no, you're right. It probably won't be that extreme, but I mean, I'm stoked, man. Like, honestly, the one I got my fingers crossed for, because obviously we talked about some of the other nerfs, right?
Oh yeah, the horrors going down to Brimstone's going to 6-up.
2 major nerfs: Brimstone Horror, 6-up, and vulnerable. Ugh.
Yeah, that's huge.
They're unplayable practically.
Furthermore, the blue horrors. Are you excited about them having a 5-up? That can excite you. Right?
No, I think everybody's just going to go back to the pink horrors they all had from last edition, especially when at a 4-up, that's just kind of par with what they used to be, and now they default become perhaps the people's choice. But remember, see, there's a stratagem that gives you +1 invulnerable, so you can get it down to a 3. It just can't get better than a 3.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing that I'll say is that, I think Kenny said it right. You got to kind of move away from if they're going to stay near that point value, because there's a lot of other small demon units. We're just looking for bodies here. What about Furies? How cheap is a Fury?
Yep, and they got all the normal tech. You can mark them,
not,
the demons.
Exactly. These are no longer like the horrors became. I don't use them now because like their purpose is bubble wrap. You can't have a bubble wrap that is not immune to morale that has a 6-up save. Like that, you just lose them all when they're toughness 3 and shit. They just lose them, right?
How many points to the pinks?
And the major problem here is that the changeling is going to lose is rumored to lose his -1 hit. So you might make an argument, well, at least it's -1 to hit. Like they're probably not going to be, so that's.
And it's just so crazy to me to think that he's going to lose that special ability. I think maybe it gets down to like a 3-inch, like a Malanthrope or something, but like there's a precedent set to where they like these bubbles. Like it's not like a -1 to hit bubble is okay. It is acceptable. It's not overpowered,
It's not. It really isn't. Way more than
7-inch.
The entire Alpha Legion army has it. Like the
entire Raven Guard army has it.
Alatar,
Dark Angels. Yeah, Dark Angels have it with Dark Shrouds. Aliatok has it with Eldar. Venomthropes and Malanthropes both have bubbles. They have a base bubble with the Venomthrope, and the Malanthrope is his badass and snaps and everything. They literally just shrunk his bubble down to 3 inches. So, I mean, there's a precedent be said that they don't do this. And so, if they do, I would be very shocked. But you want to know what? Do you really care, even if they don't change it? Do you care to be -1 on a bunch of stupid brimstone
that's what I'm saying. Well, especially if it's a 3-inch bubble. Now you've restricted my movement even further. My flexibility has been removed. You pay 100+ points potentially for a changeling now, who is affecting garbage units and making you stay in this little bubble. Like it just isn't tight. So it's going to make us think of different lists, work our way out of it. And I'm down for that at the end of the day. The only reason I'm complaining is because I have to make a change. But at the end of the day, every time I've had to change, I've gotten better. So let's do it. I'm already figuring out how to drop changeling and horrors. And now I'm just bringing Abaddon in, and my decimators are Black Legion.
Sure, truth.
I'll just make it that whatever that is. What's the Vanguard detachment or whatever? Just him and decimators. So now I have actually the exact same amount of command points because he gives you 2. Right. I now get to reroll all miss hits on the decimators, not just ones. Right. You have Abaddon himself, deep strikes. So I'll still be able to do some bubble wrap shenanigans with my cultists, but just like, I'll fucking fight around it. Maybe get some more damage output in the process. So within the course of this conversation, that's what I've already mentally began pointing out for my LVO list.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there's who God knows what they're going to do to, plague bearers, poxwalkers, all these other ones. We might see a 2-point drop in pink or not pink horrors, the Slanesh
Demonettes.
Yeah, that would change things up quite a bit.
So I might even throw it out there as like a Demonette is really you never really saw them too much play, but people would always keep them around. So they got to have a billion Demonettes to try to sell. I don't put it past them. Would you hoard out? What is a Demonette now? Like 13 points, 12 points?
I don't think that points have changed on it. So let's see.
I literally couldn't tell you, but you just have to. I mean, but with things like Alpha, like for a Chaos player,
9 points.
9
points.
7 points.
For a Chaos player, though, what you're talking about, you don't have to just play demons. You can throw in an Alpha Legion cat.
Yeah, that's true.
Get some forward operating cultists or whatever, man. If your dudes don't have an armor save, and they don't have a build, and at least fucking make them be able to shoot a billion times and start 9 inches away from you.
Mhm.
Like, fuck it. Like, I'm just like, all right, I'm with it. I'm down to roll with this punch.
To be honest, it's tough just to move away from Alpha Legion.
Oh, it
minus
is.
-1 to hit is just so powerful.
And forward operating is
Forward
so
operator.
One command point, and and also the big thing is cultists can be 40 models in a unit. So the fact that you can spend one command point and then 40 guys can set up 9 inches away from you. Pretty serious business. So like that. So I mean, I'm not concerned about it. I'm just like, okay, I was using the easy button anyway. The literal second I opened up the Chaos Index, I was like, Changeling, Brimstone Horse, got it. And now here I am 6 months later, and I have to evolve. Got it. 10-4.
No, I mean, I'm not even mad about any of that. I like the fact that you do need to change up your stuff every now and then. I sometimes just lament the fact that I haven't got the last thing painted up just to switch to the new thing. But I guess that's just part
better
of
than my lament. My lament is I just got done paying the guy to paint some of these for me.
Yeah,
Yo,
I could see.
Swear to God, that's actually why I moved. So happy that the NIDs are a thing now, and I can stop my 40k psychosis, because I was literally paying people to start. Give me the Ratlings, give me the mortars, give me 4 Butcher Cannon Dread, Leviathan Dreads. I need Xiphons, and then literally 2 weeks later, okay, fuck, Blood Angels are out. All right, I'm gonna give me this. So either way, I'm glad that the brakes have been pumped a little bit.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Well, it's all good stuff. We'll obviously know a lot more once we start seeing the official previews, and hopefully this time next week we'll have the all the info we need to speak expertly on the matter there. So I think it's definitely going to change things up, one for good or worse. We're going to see, this is probably one of the books that's going to have the most effect on the meta out there, just because it has the potential to affect 3 itself and 2 other books right off the bat. So interesting stuff. I like it. Keeps us on its toes.
First podcast 2018.
All right, Haspel, take us out of here.
Looking at the cake is like looking at the future. Till you've tasted it, what do you really know? And then, of course, it's too late.